Hello and welcome to Rebels Radio latest interview. I'm joined by Slough Joint Manager Neil Baker. How are you, Neil?
Yeah, very well, John.
Good. Reflecting on a 1-0 home victory. Must be feeling good.
Yes, pleased with the points.
It wasn't the prettiest game of football.
No, absolutely. And if I'm honest, we didn't deserve to win the game. It was one of those.
What would a fair result have been?
Well, I don't know, to be honest. You know, you could say a draw. You might maybe say that they deserve to nick the game. I mean, I said in the change room afterwards, football's a very funny game. We've had two performances at Bideford and Histon, and we've come away with 1 point, and you know we should have come away with a lot more. And yet today, I don't think we were quite at the races, and you know we've had an absolutely top draw performance from Luke Williams in goal. That's got us the 3 points. It's as simple as that. You know we weren't quite at it today, and
any reason that you can put on why you don't think you're quite at it?
No, I mean the conditions didn't suit. Again, you know, with the rain beating down and the pitch cutting up, and you know you can come up with excuses. We weren't really at it. I didn't think we dealt with their number 10 who went and sat in the hole. He went and sat deep, and you know when a player does that, you know defensively it can be difficult because as a centre half you don't know whether to go with him or let him go, and I don't think we got to grips with that, especially first half. And I thought that they attacked us, you know, with good quality, you know, and I thought
they created a lot of chances, didn't they?
They created a lot of chances, and I thought they came at us, you know, with good quality, and you know, so we're disappointed in you know aspects of the game. And you know, I talked about the talking again at half time. I felt that at times that we were sort of masters of our own demise at times, you know, by not talking. But listen, you know, take it out off to them, because I thought they weren't bad. You know, they're a lot better than their position suggests, and I've got no doubt that if they put in performances like that, they'll get themselves comfortably out. So you know, from our point of view, it's great because we've picked up 3 points. You know, myself and John were coming back on Tuesday night having only had 1 point when we've absolutely dominated the game, and you know we haven't played great today, but we've come away with 3 points, and unfortunately in football that is the key thing, that is the most important thing, and we've done that today, and we move on, you know, and fair play to the lads, because they did keep going, and you know at times second half we defended a lot better, and we put in a few good blocks. And you know we've got the 3 points.
At what point did you feel it was going to go your way? There was a few moments of kind of luck and fortune, and then also some brilliance from Luke, as you say.
Yeah, I don't know if I did think it was necessarily going to go our way. I mean, don't get me wrong, we've had chances as well. You know, we've had chances to, you know, put the game to bed as well.
Penalty appeals both.
Well, I mean, you know, us and them. You know, you know how Eddie's not got a penalty in the first half. I don't know. The lad's tugging his shirt, and you know, I don't know what we need to do to get a penalty at the moment. We don't think we've had one since September, and you know that was a nailed on penalty. And if I'm honest, you know, they probably had the same shout second half. You know, where I don't know who it was defensively because I couldn't see, but one of our lads definitely pulled at one of them, yeah. And you know they could have got a penalty as well. But to be honest, you know, if we'd got the penalty earlier and we'd been 2-0 up, then you know we might have been a lot more comfortable in the game, I think.
You've singled out Luke for a lot of praise. Any other players who you thought actually stepped up and put in a decent shift? I'm
not gonna pick out too many people. I mean, you know, I think as a team, the lads know that they could have done better. But listen, they do give us everything still. You know, they don't just, you know, go out and not give us 100%. You know, they do give us 100%, and sometimes, you know, we can be a little bit overcritical, you know, and how they, you know, maybe defend, or you know how they talk or whatever. So I'm not going to sit there and slate anyone. I thought Luke was an absolute standout player. I thought Dan Brown grew into the game, and you know he exerted his sort of calmness on the ball at times, and you know winning the ball back. And I thought he'd done well. But I thought there was a few quiet performances out there today, but. You know, they worked really hard on Tuesday. Again, it's one of those. You know, the lads have gone to Histon, tough journey back. Worked really, really hard. Worked hard on Thursday in training, And I thought we looked a little bit leggy at times today.
Yeah, I think for both sides, after about a 70-minute mark, the pitch seemed to open up. There seemed to be a lot more space out there and a few more chances, as you say, for either side. But ultimately, he hung on for yet another clean sheet. That's 2 in a row. And obviously, with Luke in goal, he's had a fair few clean sheets since he's arrived.
Yeah, he's had, he's first one to tell us, he's had 3 and 6. So I think, if anyone was in any doubt at all today, about the decision to bring Luke in, I think he answered any critics if he had any. Do you know what I mean? I thought he was absolutely superb. What I like about him is his consistency. He's very consistent. His kicking, whilst it's not probably quite as long as Jake's, it's consistent, and the lads know where it's going to go. And yeah, we're absolutely delighted with him today. He was top draw.
So happy with 3 points. Some other results going in your favour, so it's all still quite tight. And they're Portland on a great run, continuing that.
Yeah, it's bunched up a little bit again. At the middle of the table, and listen, we're aiming for a top 10 finish, and we are capable of doing that. What pleased me also today was looking at around the pitch today, and players coming back from injury. I mean, we had Jamie McClurg doing a session, Adrian Sear doing a session, Warren Harris doing running, George doing a session. We expect Ben to train this week. We had great news on Warren. Warren went to see his physio today, yesterday, and was told that he's pretty much his knee is back to almost 95% of where it needs to be. So he's absolutely flying, Warren. So so that's all positive news, and getting Jamie McClurg back, and Ben and Searsey and George, it then gives us a lot of options, and so that was a real positive today. Fowler will hopefully step it up again this week. Not the greatest performance, but don't care. 3 points, and I'm delighted with that.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for your time. Look forward to speaking to you later in the week ahead of the trip to Chippenham, and enjoy your weekend.
Lovely. Cheers. John.